paramount that we look at the journey so far, the role religion has played in our continent, and where it is going in our continent. Yeah, so today I am going to put aside my headset for a little while and enjoy the sound around. Whenever I'm in the headset, I kind of in a different world. Okay, so tonight we are here again to talk about a monumental project the President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, want to put out for his God, Elohim, the God of Israel. We are talking about a national cathedral that the President of Ghana has decided to build, which was a promise he made to his God in his secrecy when he was running for president, that if he wins the presidency, he will build a cathedral for the Lord. And lo and behold, he won. And from the land he wanted to use to build the cathedral, the place, and all of that has been a controversy up to now. And 3 days ago, I was here to do analysis called Fraud in the Name of a God, the building of a national cathedral of Ghana. And so last 3 days presentation focused mainly on the religious and spiritual side of it, and how some of us feel that it doesn't make sense for the government to spend state money to build such a monumental project at a particular place in Ghana at a time where students have no place to sit to learn. Students don't have textbook to learn from for the past 2 to 3 years, where hospital beds are not available and all of that. So we did those arguments, and then we concluded that it does not make sense, and that any God that actually sanctions this building of a cathedral must have been mad. But today we also want to listen to the president's argument, he and his people's argument, his ministers, especially the Minister for Finance, his argument. And we want to be fair to them that the president of Ghana and the Christian community, I must say, are not only making a religious and faith-based argument, they are also making some economic arguments, in that they think that if we can build this place, it's not only going to benefit us spiritually, but it can also benefit us economically. So tonight we are going to take a look at the economic argument the government is making, for which reason it is not listening to any consenting views and trying to go ahead to build this place for the Lord of the God of Israel. Yes, so tonight we are saying that how a pagan shrine can boost tourism in Ghana than a Christian cathedral, the economic argument. Yes, so the government and the Christian community are making the argument that, look, it's not only a place that we are going to worship our God at or in, but also we are going to economically benefit from this edifice that we want to build for our God. So we want to tonight scrutinize the economic side of the argument. Maybe the president may be right. About the fact that we need to build it, the shrine for God, or the cathedral for God. Yes. So stay and invite your friends to join us live here on Religion at the Crossroads in Africa. Join us live. I'm just sharing to some platform. That's why I'm kind of distracted. So give me a second. Yes. Yeah, so let's take a look at some factors. It is true that around the world there are some places that cathedrals are attracting a lot of tourists to the places. Typical example is Spain. Spain has one of the amazing cathedrals where people travel all over the world to have a glimpse of the magnificent buildings. France, we all witnessed the Notre Dame cathedral that caught fire, and how quickly people around the world came together, put money for it to be rebuilt. When you go to the US, they have the Bible museums. When you go to UK, they have Bible museums and all of that. So there are a lot of monumental edifices around the world that attract tourists from time to time. And therefore, we cannot just throw away the government's arguments that the cathedral can rake in some tourist financial or economic benefits in terms of tourism. Yes, please, those of you watching, kindly let me know if the sound is audible enough. Yes. So we cannot, in as much as people like myself vehemently oppose the building of the cathedral, especially at the prime land where they want to build it, and the state fund that is going into it. In as much as somebody like me and many other people watching me and maybe watching me years to come disagree with the government, it is fair to the government for us also to look at the economic benefits that they are talking about. So first, the question is, what makes people want to see a particular place? What attracts people to a tourist attraction, especially those that are not natural, like those like mountains, waterfalls, and all of that? When it comes to edifice like buildings, architectural work, you understand what makes people want to go to such places like the castles or museums or dungeons, forts. The first question that we want to ask in assessing this economic argument of the National Cathedral of Ghana is, what makes people want to see such places, such buildings? First, the place must have an original story to itself. Yes, the place for people to want to travel to places, to visit buildings and sites like that, it must have some originality to its story. So the question we ask is, what is the particular or peculiar story about the Christian cathedral that is about to be built in Ghana? That's the first question that we need to ask. Okay? The first question that we need to ask ourselves is, what is so special about this building that we want to build? Yes, we are told it's going to have, what do you call it? A Bible museum in it. We are told it's going to have a Bible museum. Bible museum? Okay. So, for those of you who do not know the National Cathedral, this is how it's going to look like after it is built. Truth be told, it's amazing. It looks beautiful. Yes, that's one thing about me. Even if you are my arch enemy, if I see something amazing about you, I won't hide it. I will say, this is how the National Cathedral will look like when it is built, finally built. Yes, this is how it will look like. So, indeed, it will look beautiful. So fine. Now, let's just move beyond how it will look beautiful and ask ourselves that if people want to have a glimpse of a cathedral, a place related to the Bible, a place related to Christianity, a place related to the worship of the God of Israel, kindly share for us, okay? Would Ghana be the ideal place for people to travel to? If yes, why? And if no, why? If people want to travel to a place to see the history, the wonders of Christianity and all of that, will Ghana's cathedral, no matter how beautiful it is, would it be the ideal place for tourists, especially Western people, to travel to? When it comes to tourism in Africa, the people that participate in tourism in Africa most are not Africans. Yes, there's been campaign for people in Africa to participate in local tourism and also travel even outside Africa. Mostly, when it comes to religious tourism, Africans do not travel to any religious place on the continent for their religious tourism. The religious Mecca for Christians in Africa is Jerusalem. The religious place, tourist center for Muslims in Africa is Mecca in Saudi Arabia. So now that means that this project that we want to participate in, kindly give me 30 seconds. Let me try the sound in here to see if it's sounding. That means that this project that we want to participate in. All right, the sound is amazing. Yeah. So it means that this national cathedral that we want to build for Ghana will be predominantly participated or patronized by foreigners, preferably Western people. Okay? And when it comes to a place like that, I think that Europe, America, Asia has better places than what we are trying to build. That is the competitiveness. How competitive would our national cathedral be? That is the question we are asking. How competitive would our national cathedral be vis-a-vis the cathedrals, the ancient ones, the ancient cathedrals around the world, the Bible museums around the world? How competitive would Ghana's about to be built national cathedral be? That's the question we are asking. And to be fair to ourselves and to the government and to the president, Ghana's national cathedral, no matter how beautiful it will be, cannot attract religious tourists than the one already built around the world. Okay? That is on the competitiveness of the edifice itself. Now, as I told you, for people to want to visit a place, it must have a unique, particular story. What is going to be the particular story about Ghana's National Cathedral? Thank you very much, those of you watching on Facebook. I really appreciate the numbers. And kindly let me know where you're watching from. What is going to be that story? What story do we have? Is it going to be that this cathedral is the cathedral that was built at the time that the people of Ghana were dying of hunger, were dying of hardship, were dying of floods, and the president did not listen to them and built it? Can we say that that would be kind of a bold statement for Christendom, and therefore Christians around the world want to come and see how a president of all people took a bold decision to build such a place against all odds. Is that going to be the story? So, on that case, the National Cathedral does not have any special story that would make it attractive to tourists than what we have around the world. Now, two, does the National Cathedral of Ghana has any relevant history to it? And what is the history? What is the relevance? We are waiting to see that as well. So these two points that I've raised above kind of strike the viability of this edifice, raking in economic benefit for the nation. That is the case. People troop into religious sites for two main reasons: how ancient they are, and if people will go to a religious site, it must have some wonderful working miracle attached to it. The place where the cathedral is built doesn't have any working miracle going on. Mr. Producer, if you're feeling sleepy, you can go and sleep. You understand? Our place doesn't have any miracle water flowing somewhere that when people troop in there, they can be healed of cancers and arthritis and all sorts of diseases. It doesn't. So, on these 3 points that I've raised here, the National Cathedral will struggle to rake in economic benefits. Yes, the one that come a bit closer is this. They are going to build a Bible museum at the cathedral. Yes. And so, the best Bible museum is in the US, UK, and the developed worlds. You understand? So, I'm still struggling to connect the dots. How this edifice is going to rake in any economic benefit to the nation. But, so if that's the case, what could have been a more proactive, prudent, and smart move by government if government want to still put up an edifice in terms of religion? I think that government could have spent the time and money and less money building a national shrine. We have a lot of shrines in Ghana. Can just revamp as many of them. We have Akonodi, we have Bruku, we have Nogopo, we have Chra. We have named them. This river, I don't know if the gold mines has destroyed the amazing golden fish in the river tunnel. All of this can be branded. So why am I making an argument for a national shrine rather than a Christian shrine or cathedral? They are all the same. The church building is also a shrine. Because we know of a famous cathedral in Benin, here in West Africa. This cathedral stands across a voodoo shrine. So in other words, this cathedral I'm talking about is opposite a voodoo shrine. And the number of people who travel from Europe and around the world to come to that voodoo shrine outnumber the number of people who come to see that cathedral in Benin. Do you know why? Because people go to original sites, places that are original or premier sites, places where even if it wasn't something natural, They were the first to do it. New York have enjoyed tourists coming to see skyscrapers for a long time until Dubai came. And when Dubai came, Dubai doubled the relevance of their skyscrapers. That's why Dubai is now having the attention. But that's not the case here. So why is it that this is the one of the biggest shrine in Benin, okay, which sits across the cathedral. I'm going to show you the image of the cathedral. This is it. And then this is the cathedral in Benin. And it will shock you to know that people go to the shrine, the image you saw earlier, more than this one, but they sit opposite each other, to the extent that when the Pope visited Benin, after entering the church, he went straight into the shrine to pay homage to the god there. You understand? So there's an article here that I want to read. Okay, it says that rather small voodoo museum and temple in Benin city of Queda is overlooked by the Grand Cathedral, Catholic Cathedral, and it is only a local road that divides them. But when religious and secular tourists frequent the city, it is not the cathedral they come to see. For decades, the most iconic Queda Voodoo Festival has attracted the most tourists to Benin than any other event or scenery will. And what is more, when John Paul II, then Pope, now Saint, came on a papal mission to the cathedral, he stopped by the Voodoo temple to pay homage and to do obeisance to high priest of Voodoo temple. So this is simple mathematics. If government really means what they are saying, the rhetorics of building a place that will rake in economic benefit, because right now Ghanaians are in unison, Ghanaians are in one voice saying that we need a cathedral rather than and we need economic benefits rather than a cathedral. So now we are looking at the argument of economic benefit of the cathedral to see that if indeed the cathedral can rake in economic benefits, but we are saying that if government will rather concentrate on things like this, it will rather bring more tourists into the country than ever, because people want to see something that is unique, something that is natural to an area, and shrines are unique and almost natural to our places. That is the truth of the matter. Okay, they have made theirs better. People can enter into the mouth of this gigantic animal and come out. You understand? So if government really means the rhetoric, then they should look into these areas. You understand? Because if a shrine, a voodoo shrine, stand across what do you call it, a church or a cathedral in Benin, and people go to Benin most to visit the shrine, the voodoo shrine, rather than a cathedral, I think that we don't need to invent the wheel. We should follow those who have made it and they are succeeding. You understand? And besides, when it comes to the Bible museums, America has the best. What peculiar thing, monumental thing has Christianity done in Ghana that we are going to document for people to watch? And now let me bring in the kicker, the shocker, for that matter. The world has progressed. Africa, Ghana, we have a special relationship with religion, especially Christianity and Islam. Yes. And it is not that sweet, it's not that rosy. Okay? One of the things, and as I always say, no matter how I disagree with you, anytime you do something that is amazing, that makes sense, I'll give you your due respect. And one of the things that I detest the president of Ghana, I hate his style of government, I hate the way he's failing with Ghanaians. But one of the things that I will forever mention his name for was the institution of the year of return. I salute the president for that. But I don't know which gods have bewitched our president. I don't know which gods have cursed our president. That the year he launched the year of return was the year he launched the building of the cathedral. And I did a show interviewing some of the African American tourists, and they were so sad, saying that that is the highest level of disrespect to the African American community that want to come to Ghana, because they were taken to Americans through Christianity played a major role in making them proper slaves. So if a president of Ghana want them to come home from the slave land, you are welcoming them with a symbol of slavery. Yes, today I will not go into the nitty-gritties of why Christianity is a symbol of slavery. I'll bring the expert into the studios and we'll have that conversation. You understand? And I'll bring the African American community here again in the studios for us to talk about why this building of Cathedral is an insult to them. You understand? And I made analysis talking about how what do you call it? Europeans love to go to tourist sites and all of that. Now, African Americans are also making the bold steps of trooping into Africa, especially Ghana. And the best our government can do for these people is to welcome them with a cathedral. Let me say a good evening to my boss, Abraham Bimoshe, the master brain behind Amazing Awakening in Ghana. This man, one day I will build a monumental statue for him, Abraham Bimoshe. If you are watching from any other country and you don't know him, go to YouTube, search for his video. He's called Common Sense Family on YouTube. While I digress, one of the people who are now trooping into Africa, and especially Ghana, is African Americans. And let me tell you, I have a strong relationship with the African American community. So I know a bit about their community and their lifestyle and why they are trooping into Ghana. The thing is, the people, the Americans, the African American population that come to Ghana most are those from 40, 45 and above. And those, if you pick every 10 of them, 9 are non-religious. You understand? Because of what slavery did to them. So these people call Ghana home. They call Africa home. And Kwame Nkrumah has been able to make Ghana the gateway to Africa. Which is why our president took a cue to institute the year of return. And at the same time, you cancel all the beautiful thing of year of return by welcoming this African American who are running away from the trauma, the terror of slavery, by welcoming them with a national cathedral. Going to talk about building a Bible museum. For what? For centuries, what has the Bible done for us to have its museum? See, history is good, but every community writes the better side of their journey, not the irrelevant ones. That's why history is biased, and it's biased for a good purpose. Yes. Give us what Christianity, religion has done for Ghana, for which we need to build a monumental edifice for it. Rather, people are coming, they want to embrace their way of life, which is our pagan lifestyle, whether we like it or not. Of course, we are not saying that our pagan lifestyle is also without blemish. That is why people like Abraham Moshe is pricking the conscience of Ghanaians and Africans that yes, we need to go back to our roots, but it's not all the route that we need to go to. We need to investigate some of our cultural and traditional and religious spiritual practices. You understand? But at least that is ours. It will resonate better with us. And for me, if I want to be a religious person, I'll go back to our African tradition. You know why? I'm not that old, but in my short life on earth, here in Ghana, I've seen people drowning in rivers, in seas. And anytime that happens, no Christian pastor has been able to pray. No Christian pastor has been able to pray for a drowned person in a river to be found. It hasn't happened before. Anyone older than me, I'm in my mid-30s, anyone older than me that has seen a pastor praying for someone who has been drowned in a river or a sea to come up, show me. You get it? But the moment a fetish priest comes there, pour libation with hard liquor, the next minute they find a dead person who has been missing for 13 days, 14 days. So that tells us that at least there is some genuineness and genuine part of our ancient way of life. We just need to police it well, scrutinize it well, so that we weed out the unscrupulous ones. You understand? And therefore, people will want to go to places to see something that is unique to the land, original to the land, belong to the land. Christian castle does not belong to this land. If our president doesn't know, somebody should tell him for me. Christian castles does not belong to this land. And therefore, no foreigner will take pride in the fact that he visited a Christian castle in a land that originally doesn't have, it did not practice Christianity. Gabon Boya Congo man says that no white men would come to Ghana because of cathedral for tourism, because them have many cathedral for 500 years ago. Yes, if I want to visit a cathedral, I want to visit the ones that are 500 years, 200 years. so that I get some background story to it. And the same person says that let's go back to Africa's roots. And he says that big insults to them. Mr. Moshe is our vision. Thank you very much. You know, so tonight we've come to also listen to them and look at their argument, the economic argument, and it falls flat like one of the hottest songs in Africa by Calvin Boyd, down flat. The economic argument also fall flat. And now, look, I always say, and that's why yesterday when I was talking about Fifth Secondary, I said one of the number one rule of activism is never to utter a defeatist word. A defeatist word is a word that defeats what you've been preaching. Okay, so for example, Ghana, meaning Ghana cannot succeed. No, I see a lot of hope. Now I see a lot of sincerity of awakening happening. Yesterday I was watching the state of play on Joy News channel, and one of the journalists there was like, I was one of the people who supported the building of the cathedral, but now I cannot go ahead to support it. I'm a stand Christian, but I'm ashamed that I thought they were going to do something special this time around because it is about the work, the place of the Lord. But they couldn't. They've brought the usual way of doing things in Ghana into it. Therefore, I cannot support it anymore. And many others who are withdrawing their initial support for this building. And I have said that this building can never be built. Yes, they can do all the propaganda and all whatever. It can never be built. One reason why it can never be built is that the cry of the pregnant women who go to hospital and sleep on the cold cement floor will not allow anyone to have the peace of mind to build this cathedral. The cry, the anguish, the terror of children who go to school and sleep on their belly like reptiles to write will not allow this cathedral to be built. I don't know how, I don't know through which power, but it can never be done. And another point is that they say the voice of the people is the voice of God. And the number of people who are speaking against this thing is more than the number of people who are speaking for it. Well, we can say that when the government want to do something, they bulldoze their way through to do it. They bulldoze their way through to do it. But you know what? Even if they take state fund, they will chop the money. They will squander the money so that it doesn't get into the hands of the contractors. Because last 3 days, I showed you a letter from the contractor who is building the edifice, calling on the people, the workers, the laborers, telling them that they should go home because there's no money to continue to finance the activities of the building. So as we speak, all the laborers, all the masons, the carpenters, the artisans, the steel benders have been sent home. If you want to see the letter, you go to our YouTube channel, Religious at the Crossroads in Africa on YouTube. You watch the first video I did about the National Cathedral titled Fraud in the Name of God, the building of a National Cathedral for Ghana. You see the letter there from the company, the contractor who is building the cathedral. He has sent home all the carpenters and everything, and that is what is going to happen. If they like, they should go into the coffers of Ghana, the consolidated fund, remove money and put it there. When the money leaves the consolidated fund, people will share it and eat the money. Just so that the contractor, because if the money gets into the hands of the contractor, definitely the house, the place will be built, whether we like it or not. But if it gets into the hands of the pastors, the board of trustees, and they eat it. So we've heard that Pastor Meso Tabel has left the board of trustees. We've also heard that 3 others are planning to tender in their resignation letter, and that is beautiful. That is what we want. Yes, it should happen like that. If these men of God have conscience, they should all resign, because they are treading on a dangerous path. Yes, if they like, they should be assuading and not resign. What is coming after them, they have no idea. Because right now, Ghanaians ain't joking. Ghanaians are not fooling. Look, the revolution is like wildfire. Tomorrow, I'm going to do editorial about how for the first time, clergymen, men of God, pastors, bishops, Roman fathers are participating in the upcoming election on February 2023 rather, in Nigeria, the upcoming presidential election. That now pastors want to participate to make sure that the person they want win. That's amazing. You guys start following the Nigerian social media, or start following Peter Obi, his Facebook channels, and you will see what is happening in Nigeria. This time around, they want to throw away their version of the NDC and MPP, the PDP and the APC. They are throwing them away, going for somebody that they all have seen what he has done and his vision. And I'm so happy that Ghana was supposed to be the first country to sack the duopoly, the NDC and MPP. We couldn't do it. Nigeria is doing it under our nose. Yes, they have the numbers. Let them do it. To the extent that now pastors and bishops and Roman fathers are telling their members that if you are coming to church and you don't have your voter's ID card, we will not let you enter. Do you know what they are saying? They are not saying go and vote for Peter Obi, but it was Peter Obi that started canvassing the youth to go out there to vote. You understand? And then the pastors has taken the job of canvassing their church members to go and vote, because they've seen that they need a government that will find job, create job for Nigerians, so that they don't join Boko Haram, so that they don't join bandits that kidnap people. I saw a video, tomorrow I'll play that video, where women are going to church with AK-47. Yes, the mind will work. Abraham Biboshe says, if the brain doesn't work, the body suffers. The body suffers. So, in conclusion, our president should forget about the National Cathedral. They wouldn't spend much money to revamp our shrines around the country. There's one shrine in Volta region, I've forgotten the name. The way white people, Europeans, go there annually, you have no idea. There's another one in the north. They go there. How good are the roads that leads to these shrines? Let me put the shrine case aside for a while. How good are the road that leads to our natural resource, natural tourist centers? How good are the roads? Look at the Kakum National Park. How good is the road from the main road, Cape Coast Road, to the Kakum National Park? All the tourist sites, how good are the places? And you want to spend about $300 million to build something that is going to be a white elephant. So, on that note, I want to say that the President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has broken a world record. And what is the record? He has been that president that has been able to defraud its citizens and God at the same time in the space of 2 years. This president defrauded the citizens of Ghana during the COVID-19 pandemic, said that he's giving them free light and water for 6 months. Right after 6 months, he came to collect the money from Ghanaians. And this president said he's going to build a house for the Lord. And I tell you, this president didn't know that he didn't have enough money. So let me read. Anytime I talk about the cathedral, I'll read this quotation. Forgive me, in the previous video, I mentioned Matthew chapter 14. It is Luke chapter 14, verse number 28 to 30. And I'm reading from the New International Version. It says, suppose one of you want to build a tower or a building or a house. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you. And exactly the case. Now everyone is ridiculing the president. Why? Because he decided to build a place for the Lord, but did not check whether he has enough money to complete it. And now it has become an albatross on his head. Now Christians are running away from the cathedral because it's shameful. Now it started from 100 million, went to 120 million, went to 150 million, went to 200, 230, 250, now 300 million. Who knows what is coming up next? And that is a man, when a man decides to build for himself or for the Lord, and did not sit down to find out if he has enough money. And then he starts, and he's not going to complete. And now people are ridiculing him. So in conclusion, if the government wants tourism to rake in money from tourism, the National Cathedral is going to actually piece off a chunk of the people who are now making Ghana and Africa their tourist destination, the African American community in the US and in the Caribbean. That is one. Two, the Western people who want to come for religious tourism will not go for a cathedral because they have the best there. It's like somebody says he wants to see better traffic. He lives in America, I want to see better traffic, so he's coming to Accra. I was in a car with an Israeli, and he said, Accra is the poor version of New York. So if someone wants to experience the New York style, he'll go to the real New York. If an European, a Westerner want to come to Africa for tourism, they will go for the shrines and all of that, and not a cathedral, because they have the best. They have the best over there. And ladies and gentlemen, it's like I said I want a fast rapper in Ghana or a dope rapper in Ghana, and I'm going for Amrado. No, I'll go for Sarkodie. Sarkodie is the original. Yeah, my producer disagree with me, but Sarkodie is the original. You understand? My producer will drop cry. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I'm not making it too long. Asempa 8 here. So, this is where time will permit me to draw curtains on tonight's show on religion at the crossroads in Africa. Don't forget to like the page and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Religion at the Crossroad in Africa. Thank you for watching.